and that's why I'm here to help assist you guys in achieving your dreams in coming and living and studying in Japan. So today's video, if you missed last week, we're going to be talking about what you can do after you've finished your studies with your Japanese language school and how they can assist you in achieving those dreams. But first, I just wanted to make a couple of announcements about a few of the applications that are available right now. So currently, the October session for 2017 has now begun, guys. So if you want to apply to come live and study in Japan for October, it's time to start applying right now. Schools are getting very, very busy and spaces are starting to fill up already. So if you're looking at the school, it's time to start applying now, guys. There's still a little bit of time to get your application ready, but it's time to send us that first email to get it all started so we can reserve your space, and then we'll see you in October. Now, we also want to mention that next week there won't be a live video. The 20th of March will be a public holiday in Japan, for spring equinox. So we're not going to be available next week. So if you have any questions, send us an email and we'll be happy to answer them from the following Tuesday. All right, now to jump in, we're actually also having guests today to talk about how their school can assist you in achieving your dreams of living in Japan, working in Japan, going to university, or whatever else you plan to do after you've finished your studies. So our guests today are both from Intercultural Institute, one of our longest partner schools in Akihabara. So if you guys want to go to Akihabara to study for October, start applying now. Okay, so our first guest will be Tamura-san, if you'd like to come on over. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. Konnichiwa, everyone. I'm Yuko Tamura from Intercultural Institute of Japan. I'm happy to introduce our school to you.
Thank you very much for coming as well to our live today. So can you tell us a little bit more about your role at Intercultural?
Well, I'm in charge of administrator and support student here.
Yes. So she's available to assist students in English as well, luckily. Thank you very much. So Intercultural just had its 40th year anniversary this year?
Yes, this year, finally.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
If you guys missed our live video as well, we did a little tour of their school for their event Setsubun.
Yeah.
So that was so much fun. I got to join that luckily. We might actually post the link to that video in the comments once this video is over if you want to check out their school. It's really great and throwing some devils. Throwing beans at the devil. Very fun day. So Intercultural Institute has a lot of students, especially from Nihon as well, a lot of interest for you guys. So you offer a lot of support for your students in the whole application process as well and during their studies. So if students come up to you and want to talk about their future, how can you guys offer some assistance there?
Well, our students go on to the University of Vocational School after finishing the course, and some students have work after finishing the school. So we have kind of support for students, those who want to get a job in Japan after finishing the school, and if you reach to the intermediate level, we have a support job career support system. Where you can study like how to write resume, CV, and how you interview with a Japanese company and so on.
That can be very difficult, writing a Japanese resume. If you haven't seen one, guys, I definitely recommend checking them out if you do plan on working in Japan eventually. So it's very good that you have a class available to assist them. Very, very difficult process. I definitely understand as well. So during those courses, they can study from intermediate. Okay. So Japanese resumes obviously all need to be written in complete Japanese.
Complete Japanese with kanji, of course.
Kanji, yes. So from beginner students to intermediate, is there any assistance in preparing them to reach that intermediate level?
Well, I say exactly not. We don't have any support for basic students because they need to learn some basic at first.
Yes.
And after 9 months, they can have a support like job career system.
Okay, excellent. So to work in Japan, you do need the higher level of Japanese. So usually the JLPT N2
yeah,
and
is
2 level.
essential.
It's
Yeah.
very essential. So the support starts from the intermediate level. So by the time you do reach that N2 level, you're all ready to go out into the workforce in Japan. So what about students that want to go into university?
University, we have kind of JLPT classes and EJU classes, so they can focus on studying on the JLPT.
The JLPTs can be very difficult. There are only 2 sessions each year in July and December.
Yes, exactly.
So they assist you in preparing for those examinations, so you can then enter into a Japanese university. Of course, there are some universities that offer English teaching,
Yes.
but to go into a Japanese university, that JLPT N2 level is again going to be a essential requirement for the application.
Yes, exactly.
So what about the EJU examinations?
EJU examination is essential for those who want to go to the university, not vocational school, but university.
So it's not required for vocational school?
Sometimes yes, but you better have EJU, but it's not necessary for those who want to go to vocational school.
Okay. Well, thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
giving us a bit more of an explanation
You're
about
welcome.
how you guys can assist. It's obviously always good to hear that there's going to be support for yourself, especially if that is your future goal in Japan.
Exactly.
So have you had many students move into university or vocational school in the past?
I can say it's 50% and 50% because 50% is going to the university or vocational school, and 50%, I think 40% get a job in Japan.
Get it up. And then the last 10% go home and use
Yeah,
the
go
language.
home or marry to Japanese girlfriend or boyfriend.
Congratulations to those as well. There's also another option if you
Yeah,
finish your
another option.
studies. Obviously with the JLPT and 2 level though, you could communicate with your newlywed partner in a much more comfortable way, I suppose.
Yeah, because you have to live in Japan after finishing the school, so in 2 level is good
As well
to
as
have.
Keigo
Yeah.
to introduce their
Yeah,
family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Varies from our student as well. Keigo can be very difficult to learn, but it's good to know that you offer the support system for your students to reach those levels. Now, for students that want to apply for work, we get this question a lot of the time, so I really want to make this very, very clear for all of our students. To apply for work visa in Japan, the bachelor's degree
Yes.
is essential.
Yes.
Very, very important requirement. So it obviously has been possible for previous students to move into the workforce without the bachelor's degree. But guys, it can be very, very difficult to find work in Japan without that.
Yeah.
So it's very important as well.
Very important.
So if you do have the bachelor's degree, Intercultural Institute is definitely able to assist you in finding work
Yes.
in Japan.
Yeah.
So what kind of work do your students usually want to apply for?
Many Japanese company looking for some IT specialist and engineering and something like that. So if you have work experience in your country, it's a good advantage in finding a job in Japan.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If you have any questions further for Tomoda-san, please send them through to our Facebook or YouTube. I'll be starting to answer your questions a little bit later in the video, just so we can give you as much information as possible. Okay, but we did have one question here from a student already that I'll just ask you quickly while I've got you. So what are the chances of getting a full-time job employment after graduating from a Japanese language school with a JLPT level of N2 or N1 or equivalent from a ZETRIS?
JLPT N1 level is much better to have, but if you have JLPT N2 level, it's good enough, I guess.
Okay, so it's better to have the JLPT N1, but we understand very high levels
Yeah,
to
yeah,
achieve.
yeah.
So for JLPT N2 and N1 level, how long would you recommend they study at a language school for?
If you have a total beginner to the Japanese language, it will take more than 1 year.
More than 1 year, definitely. So we usually recommend our students 1.5 to 2 years, so definitely
Yes.
over the 1 year mark.
Yeah.
So intermediate with Intercultural Institutes after 9 months.
Yeah, after 9 months. Yeah.
Reaching intermediate. So
Yes.
to reach the higher advanced levels, definitely more than 1 year study, 1.5 to 2 years. so you can then move into the workforce and
Yes.
live happily ever after in Japan, guys. Alright, well, thank you very much. We'll probably have a couple more questions for you a little bit later, but we're now going to introduce one of Intercultural Institute's students, a fellow Australian. So thank you, Tomoto-san.
Hi.
Take a seat back. Okay, so I would like to introduce student Chris.
Hey, g'day everyone. Konnichiwa.
Yes, excellent. Some fellow Australian. So it's nice to see more Australians, guys. What are you doing? Come on, Japan, October semester.
Yes,
starting
come. There's
shortly.
not many of us here.
You said there were only 5 Australians at Intercultural Institute.
Including myself, yes, there's only 5 at Intercultural.
Okay, Australians, come on,
Yes.
please. There's Vegemite here.
Yes, there is Vegemite here. I've just been informed.
So
So,
if you're concerned about Vegemite supplies, they're here in Japan. There's
and
also
there's
kimchi
Milo.
items.
And there's Milo.
There's Milo?
Yes.
I had to get Milo shipped from Australia because I didn't know. Going to have to do a little exchange later. Some Australian information. So, how long have you been studying at Intercultural, Chris?
I've been studying for 5 months now. I came to Japan in September last year and started at Intercultural in October.
In October. Wow.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying it?
Well, originally I only planned to stay for 6 months. That changed very quickly. I'm now staying here a minimum now a year, and I plan to hopefully work here in Japan after I've improved my Japanese skills a lot more.
That's excellent to hear. I originally also planned only for 6 months study with my language school should be a Gaigo Gakuin. It very quickly changed as
It
well
really does quickly change.
to wanting to study for a longer period of time. So once you guys do arrive in Japan, if you have only planned for that original 6 months, it is possible to extend if you do see yourself wanting to live and study in Japan for a longer period of time. So that is possible as well, guys. Don't have to limit yourself just to that original 6 months, and we're here to assist you the whole way through, as well as your school and Tomoto-sen as well. So what made you change your mind initially?
Well, originally I didn't really know exactly how hard Japanese would actually be at first. It is very hard, so be prepared to study, but it is a lot of fun to actually learn a new language, to communicate with another group of people, and it's just the culture, and being here is just fun. It's really fun being here in Japan.
Guys, it's just fun, right?
Just
A lot of fun.
There's no other way to describe it. It is a lot of fun being here in Japan.
So from Australia, it's a very big cultural difference.
It is very big. Going from, well, it's weird also going by the seasons. It's summer back home right now, and it's really cold over here at the moment.
Yes, it is.
So that takes some getting used to.
So we have a lot of students that are from Western backgrounds as well. So how are you finding the kanji studies?
Kanji is my bane at the moment, but I know once I learn kanji, it is a very cool system of writing. You just have to look at a symbol. You can read 4 times faster than you could in English. It is really good to actually know kanji, but it's very hard. So
It's very hard. You can study. You can do it, guys. We're not
you
saying
can
it's
do it. It's
impossible
not
here.
impossible. I've been studying for 5 months now, and I can read about 100, maybe 120 kanjis now. So, and that's it's taken me a while to get to that point. So
No, that's very good. You're doing very well with your studies. So Tomoto-san is very proud of you, as she definitely recommended him to comment to our live video today.
yeah.
So you said you're interested in working in Japan afterwards.
Yes. Back home, I was an electrician for a good 8 years, and I thought when I did decide to, because I like to go traveling a lot, and ended up deciding to come to Japan to learn the language, and been thinking that I would like to work as an electrician or in the construction industry here in Japan when I get to a better degree of Japanese speaking.
So are you planning on taking any of the, I suppose, elective classes with Intercultural?
Yes, when I get to that level, I'm not there yet, but I do want to take the course for resume, writing, because I know that can be very hard, and all the courses that help me get to the place I want to be with working.
So JLPT,
JLPT,
well?
all them classes. I'm not there yet, so I've got a little bit more time to really work out where I want to go with it, but definitely I'm glad that my school actually gives these courses to me. It's the options of being able to improve in one way or another, which is very useful.
So no matter what you want to do after your studies, guys, the school system is there to support you in helping you achieve those goals. So Intercultural Institute has classes available for you no matter what route you want to take, even if you're still deciding about necessarily what steps you want to take to get there. Talking with the staff of the school will be able to help you set that up for your future goals.
And the staff at Intercultural is very helpful. They've helped me and a lot of other English speaking and even Mandarin speaking anywhere in the world. The staff's there to help you out. It's very helpful.
We have 2 thumbs up over from Tamura-san in the corner there. Don't be blushing, but they do offer great support.
They really do.
As I mentioned earlier, when we went to their school to do the setsubun activity, did you enjoy the setsubun activity?
I actually didn't throw the beans, but I
Did you do
did.
the bag?
No.
No, you didn't throw anything.
It was too crowded. I couldn't get in. I was like, I watched from the sidelines.
Okay.
But it was a fun day. We had the staff come in dressed up as demons and walk through every single room, and it was a lot of fun. So,
Oh, I'm sad we missed out on the classroom adventures.
it was really cool just to have some bashing on your door and you're like, what's going on? Like,
Interruption of the classroom.
yeah, a complete interruption. Everyone's just like, what the hell's going on? It was a lot of fun that day. It was really good.
So during your studies at Intercultural Institute, they do also offer a lot of different events throughout the year.
Yes.
So if you come in October this year, you'll get to experience Setsubun next year, again in February 16? Not sure on the date yet, but next year's Setsubun, you'll also be able to experience that with Intercultural Institute. They try to make your studies as much fun, guys, as possible for all the students. With those events, you do get the chance to meet and mingle with Japanese students as well.
Yeah.
So have you made a few Japanese friends as well?
Yeah, in the share house I'm living in now, it's majority are Japanese, so it can be hard at first communicating, but practice makes perfect. So that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. Cause
With kanji especially.
kanji and speaking and writing, everything. Just don't slack off on your studies.
Don't slack off on your studies, guys. You can do it. You can get there. I myself, obviously living and working in Japan after planning for the first 6 months as well. So it is possible. We do have very high faith in you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
Fellow Australian. Gotta give him all the support we can, guys. Obviously, we're here to support.
There's not
all
many
our
of us.
students.
We need all the support.
Yeah. We need more Australians, is what we're saying, guys. So thank you very much. I'm now going to answer a few questions from our YouTube and Facebook. So we might have a couple more questions for
Yeah,
you.
no worries.
But we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Obviously for your after Japanese language studies. We really think that you can definitely get there.
Yeah.
All of your
Positive
determination.
determination,
Yes.
positive attitude.
Yes,
Yeah.
most definitely. So thank you very much.
Right.
You could
Thank you.
take a seat. Okay, guys. To answer some of your questions that you've been asking on Facebook. Okay, what do the students' representatives suggest? What kind of part-time job to do for someone who is totally new to Japan? So we've actually discussed this in one of our previous videos as well. For students that are very, very new to Japan, that don't have that Japanese level yet, a lot of our students do actually choose to teach in their native language part-time. So if your native language is English, this is from an Elvis 10. So if English is your native language, it's definitely the highest suggested part-time work. Now, it can be difficult to find work in the first couple of weeks that you're in Japan, so do give it a little bit of time as well, guys, just to have that adjustment in there as well. The school wants to make sure that you're comfortably setting into your studies, so it's not disruptive on your first month or so in Japan. But it is one of the higher recommended part-time jobs for English native speakers. as well as other languages as well. Okay, and Elvis Tan also asked, are you still able to continue working your part-time job after graduating from the language school? Now that can be a little bit difficult because it will depend on what you're going to do after the language school. If you're going to be switching visas to the work visa or the higher education visa, the work visa, obviously you most definitely can continue working, whether it be full-time or part-time. But for your higher education student visa, again with the student visa for language schools, there is the 28-hour per week limit. So it will just depend on your next visa. If you will be returning home, obviously your visa expiration will sort of set a more determined answer on that. If you're going home, it's best to then also finish up your part-time work and depart before your visa expires. That's very important, guys, so we do want to make that very, very clear. Okay, we do have another question. Okay, so we have from Sapphire Fox on YouTube. Okay, I really want to go to Nihon to learn Japanese. It just makes sense to learn a Japanese. Oh, sorry, it's my reading. I have a husky pup and need him with me. So guys, it can be very difficult to come to Japan with a pet. So you will need to do a little bit more research about pets with the Japanese embassy. Unfortunately, we can only check with our partnered housing agencies if they will allow pets or not. But it's best to also do a little bit more home research in that regard as well, just in case our partnered agencies do say no in that regard. Okay, we actually have a question from a fellow intercultural student, so I'll get Chris back up here for a moment.
It's Jordan. Well, and I'm back.
Okay, so Jordan would like to know.
Of course it's Jordan.
So Jordan is a fellow American student.
Yes.
From Intercultural Institute. How long has Jordan been studying? Do you know?
Little bit, maybe a year now, maybe 9 months. I'm not too sure.
Okay, so a little bit longer than yourself.
Yeah, longer than me.
Okay, so it's an awesome jacket, Chris. Where did you get it?
Okay, this is a little. I bought it yesterday. It's a brand new jacket. I think the place was Azul, something like that. He knows exactly where it is because he was there when I bought it. So.
There you go, Jordan. He knows. He knows.
Damn you.
Alright, thank you very much, Chris. Okay.
Him and Charlotte are watching.
So we have a couple of students from Intercultural Institute. Hi everybody, thank you for joining us and your fellow Institute members. So if you'd like to message us if you are watching other students, let us know what your plans are also after studying with the language school as well. Okay. So we have another question here, guys. Okay, Miss Otaku 421. Hi, Miss Otaku 421. Okay, can you talk a little bit about different scholarships that are available to foreign college or language school applicants? Now, unfortunately, guys, we can't assist with applications for scholarships just because we assist students from all around the world. It can be more difficult to find specifically what's available for you in your country, as a lot of the time it will depend on potentially your education background and your education goals within Japan. So it's best to do a little bit more home research in that regard. But if you have applied for some in your home country, we're happy to check with our partnered language schools if they're able to accept that scholarship payment. So they'll be able to give us a more clear answer. But unfortunately, we can't assist with the application to any scholarships. So a little bit more home research, guys, and you'll be able to find something that definitely suits your needs. We have had students in the past from mainly United States that have been able to study in Japan with a scholarship from within America for their own specific needs, as well as higher education as well. A lot of different scholarships are available, but because the student visa that you will apply for with Intercultural Institute or with ourselves at Nihon will be the Japanese language student visa. Now these are only extendable for a 2-year period, but the higher education, so university, vocational schools, are extendable until your entire studies have been completed. So that could be from 2, 3, 4 years, however long your studies will be for. That's the length of the extendable visa. So a lot more scholarships are also available for those as well. If you already know which university you want to go to in Tokyo or in Japan, it's best to have a look at their website as well. They might provide some more information for you as well. So I'm sorry I couldn't fully assist you there, Ms. Otaku, but let us know if you have any other questions and I'll be happy to assist. Being the International Student Coordinator, I will most likely be the one responding to your emails as well, guys, so don't hesitate to ask me anything, as I'm happy to answer all your questions. Okay. Alright, Sapphire Fox again. Do I have to have any college credits from my homeland beforehand, or can I start anew in Japan? So to apply for a Japanese language school, you don't have to be enrolled to any university at all. You don't have to have graduated from any university either. So you can come straight off the bat after high school. You will need to have completed the 12 years of formal education from your home country to apply for a language school. So no college credits are required. If you will be moving into university, however, you can start completely anew as well. Some of the universities do offer some transfers of credits, but again, that will depend on each university around Japan and whether or not your home country's credits can be converted into your future studies. Okay, so thank you again for that second question, Miss Sapphire Fox. No more questions from Jordan, so that's okay. Yet. Okay. We have a question from Shakir Sefari. Looking at visa types and their corresponding prerequisites for Australians. Hello, fellow Australian. Nice to see you. When are you coming to Japan? Intercultural Institute is ready to accept you with arms wide open. So could you tell me if a working visa would be achievable for someone who will have a diploma of languages in Japanese, or is a bachelor's degree the absolute minimum? As we mentioned earlier with Tamura-san, the bachelor's degree is very essential for finding full-time work and receiving the work visa within Japan. So obviously on a lot of online communications, such as Reddit and other online social medias, there have been people advising that they've gone and lived in Japan without the bachelor's degree. It is possible, guys, but it can be very, very difficult. So the bachelor's degree is highly essential for finding a lot of jobs within Japan. So as Simona-san said, the IT and communications area is hiring. Remember, the Olympics in 2020 are coming up, so they're well preparing far in advance. So if you start your studies now, you'll be 100% ready for the 2020 Olympics and can work in what's going to be, I'm quite sure, absolutely amazing here in Tokyo. So are you looking forward to that as well?
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to that. Chris, are you planning on being here for the Olympics?
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. We got a maybe. Hopefully. So a lot of students that Chris mentioned to myself earlier are looking to go into vocational schools. Now, if you guys haven't heard much about vocational schools, we are actually partnered with 3 ourselves. So we've got the Tokyo Sushi Academy, the Yamano Aesthetics College, and Nihon Kogakuin Vocational School. So it's similar to a university, but you will only receive the diploma after graduating from themselves. But they do offer a lot of assistance as well in finding full-time work and getting you into the Japanese workforce. So after going to a vocational school, you can then move into Japanese workforce as well, guys. University isn't the only option available to you, especially if your studies are more specific. So such as Japanese beauty and makeup would be the Yamano College. So if you're interested in Japanese beauty, fashion, makeup, I'm not very good with it myself, but if that's your interest, they're definitely there available for you guys. Obviously, a lot of universities might not offer that specific subject for yourself. So vocational schools are another route you can take. A lot of them offer 3 to 4 year courses as well, so you can get right into it and fully in depth to the subject you want to work with in Japan. So for Chris, wanting to work in the technical areas, there might be a vocational college available that offers specifically those subjects to him as well, which is another route he could potentially look at. So just more questions, guys. I'm getting to them. I haven't forgotten. Okay. This one hasn't got a name, so I do apologise. But thank you for sending it in. I'll be studying in April. Oh, sorry. I'll be studying in Japan this April. I wanted to know how to get a phone without opening a bank account. Okay, so you might send us an email for that one, and I'll be able to provide you some more details on how you can get started. So on our webpage, click on the little contact button, fill in the details, and I'll be happy to answer all of your questions later this afternoon. Most likely myself will be answering the question, so I can go a little bit more in depth with that for you. From Sapphire Fox, thank you for the videos. We're happy to provide the videos. If there are any questions or topics you would like us to talk about more in depth, please feel free to send us through email, Facebook, YouTube. We also have Instagram and Snapchat. So send us through any questions you guys really want to know. So as we mentioned, next week we won't be having a live video, but I'll still be available to answer all of your questions by email as well. But if there's a topic you'd like us to discuss, or one of our partnered schools that you really want to meet, let us know, and we're happy to help out in any way we can. Okay, so we've got another question from Juan. In a school of Japanese for 1 year, to apply, we only need to pay the first 6 months. Okay, so for applying to a Japanese language school, we've actually got a new process that has just started since our April semester. So to talk about payments and payment methods, please do send me an email, Juan, and I'll be happy to get to all of your questions myself on how it all works, specifically for each school, as it can differ from school to school as to how the payments are processed. So send us an email and I'll get back to you by today, later this afternoon. Alright, so that looks like the majority of the questions that we've gotten today, guys. If you have any others, send them through now. Okay. So again, guys, I would also just like to mention, though, that the October semester is open now. Intercultural Institute, they're very busy. So thank you, Tomoto-san, for all of your hard work with all of the students. If you're going to apply for this October 2017, please get started as soon as possible. Spaces are filling up very quickly. We can get started to reserve your space and then go through the entire application process for you guys, okay? So it's time to get started. Go. And we're here to help you every step of the way, as well as Tomoto-san, in English as well. So if you then want to move into university, higher education, or the Japanese workforce, guys, they're here to support you the entire way. Whether you're studying for 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, the entire time you will have that support system for you from Intercultural Institute. And as well from Gogo Nihon. Anytime you have a question, feel free to contact us even after arrival in Japan. We do offer an orientation party for all of our students, so we'll shortly be setting up our party for the April students, so any students coming in April. Thank you very much for joining us on the video, and we look forward to meeting you in Tokyo soon. And again, next week there will be no live video. One more little deadline that we'd like to remind you guys of is our study trip, Taste of Japan. The deadline is coming up for March 31st. As there will be no video next week, I just wanted to give you a small heads up reminder that it is coming up. So if you'd like to join us for a tasty little trip around Tokyo, please sign up now, guys, and we can send you all of the information and get started on that application as well. Okay, got a couple more questions. Brian Kiani, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, let us know. Okay, Jordan. from Intercultural Institute would like to know what is our Snapchat username. So our Snapchat username is GoGoNihon. So I'll bring it up for you. So here it is, guys. GoGoNihon is our username. No spaces, no special characters, numbers, just GoGoNihon. So come join us on our adventures. At the moment, I'm not in charge of the Snapchat anymore. If you have watched our previous live videos where I'm claiming myself as a Snapchat ruler, our French student coordinator Amandine has taken over and she'll be showing you a bit more about her life in Japan and what's around the city, guys. So thank you, Jordan, again. Looking forward to seeing him at school this afternoon.
I see him every day. We
Oh,
live in the same house.
They're sharing in the same share house, so
Same share house.
he's looking forward to seeing you later this afternoon. Okay. So Ms. Itaku, again, what's the shortest available time that a student can study at one of your partnered language schools? Okay, so the shortest available time would be 3 months. So the schools offer short-term special 3 months. Intercultural offers the special 3-month course.
No.
The weekly course?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually a weekly course with Intercultural, so you can pick your starting date and your ending date. So if you're looking for a short-term course, Intercultural Institute also has one available. But if you're looking for even shorter than 3 months, that's a bit too long to commit to, we have our study trips available. So they're from 2 to 4 weeks long, and they also include a bunch of activities of going around Tokyo or even Kansai to see a couple of the sites and activities that are available in those areas. My favorite is the Studio Ghibli. I got to luckily join the Otaku course last year in 2016. So it's just an example of one of the fun activities we let you guys come and join in on during your stay in Japan. Now, if you have a look on our website, the study trips page has all of the trips available right now. So as I mentioned, the Taste of Japan is the next deadline coming up. So all of our study trips are exclusively created by GoGoNihon. So it will depend on which language school is available to take our students for that course. So if you're looking for a specific school, it's best to look into their 3-month courses. But the study trips offer different schools as well as different classes for your specific level of Japanese. So take a look. It's definitely worth having a look into if you're interested in joining us for example, to the Studio Ghibli Museum or getting a taste of what Japan really offers and some sushi, udon, all of the delicious food available in Japan, which is one of the reasons why I didn't want to leave Japan. I don't think I could actually survive on purely just Australian food anymore. Although, as we mentioned, there is Vegemite available. If you don't know what Vegemite is, guys, head out to Keldy Coffee Store. It's available and you can try it there. So 2 thumbs up for those of you who want to try some Vegemite as well. Alright, guys. If you don't have any more questions, we're going to be ending the video a little bit shorter today in comparison to Davide. But in 2 weeks' time, when he is back, he will most likely be taking over the live videos again. Unless you would like for me to stay, 2 thumbs up. Vote for Donna to stay, and I'm happy to have more guests. Or if you'd like to see these 2 lovely guests back, I'll bring them on in again. If you would like to join us again, we'd highly appreciate it.
I have no choice.
Okay, and we do have one last question. The increase of employments for foreign people for the Olympics, Davide always talks about it, is only related to Tokyo or for all of Japan in general. For example, Fukuoka. Okay, so the Olympics, because it will be based in Tokyo, obviously they are expecting to have a higher employment rate in the Tokyo area. But during the Tokyo Olympics, they're going to be having many tourists traveling all around Japan. Because why come to Japan and only stay in Tokyo? You got to explore everywhere. It's best to get out there and see what's available. So of course they're going to be looking at hiring in other areas as well to prepare for that influx. I'm guessing in 2020 we'll have the highest number of tourists visited. So definitely have a look at the other areas and what's available. The Fukuoka area gorgeous area which a lot of people should definitely check out if you're planning a trip to Japan. So we could recommend that there would be a lot of employment in those areas, but Tokyo will most likely have the highest rate available. So thank you, Ricardo, for that question. Elva, you'll be coming in October. Have you gotten your application started? If you haven't, please start now. Okay, so how many days before the course starts is better to arrive in Japan? So we usually recommend 2 to 3 days prior to the course starting to arrive in Japan, because as soon as you arrive, guys, your student visa starts. So if your student visa is only for 6 months or 1 year, it will be exactly 1 year from the date you arrive. If you come too early, you also might not have time to fully convert your COE. So during the process, the certificate of eligibility is mailed out to you guys, and then you need to convert it with your local Japanese embassy. So you might not have enough time to get everything ready, pack your suitcases, bring the teddy bear, say goodbye to mum and dad before any earlier than the 2 to 3 days time limit. So that's the best time to come. Okay, so thank you Elva L for that question. But if you do want to know any more about the specific date of your school starting, send us an email and we'll be able to tell you the dates that your school will be starting, so you can start planning your trip. If you're looking at buying flight tickets, let us know so we can best provide you some further information in that regard. Okay, a question from Marissa Segura. How early is too early to apply for a language school? So, at Nihon, we can start helping you guys with the application from 1 year in advance. So we can get you your space reserved for that specific semester, and then that way your spot's there, it's safe, guys. Once the application period officially opens with the school, which is usually 6 months in advance, we'll then send out a reminder email to finish and finalize your application by getting those documents in. And then very, very simple from that time, guys. So 1 year in advance, we can get started. And then 6 months ahead of time, we'll finalize the application to get you an okay from the school. So our Nihon students have a very high chance of acceptance from our schools, guys, because we're here to assist you with the full application, as well as themselves checking through, making sure your documents are clear and concise. So when it's submitted to immigration, 2 thumbs up, guys. All right, so we might be ending the video there today, guys. If you have any more questions about what you can do after your studies in Japan, if you're planning on going to a university, please let us know, guys. We're happy to answer any questions you have. So I'll bring up our 2 guests just to say a goodbye. Don't forget October applications. When should they apply?
What?
When should they apply for October?
Now.
Now, guys.
Right now.
First. Get on in there before she becomes too busy and all the spaces are gone, guys. You just don't want to miss out, because then the next available semester isn't until January 2018. And I don't know about you, but I'd want to come and start as soon as possible. Now.
Right now.
Alright, so we'll probably see you in 2 weeks, guys, after the spring equinox holiday next Monday. So the following Monday we'll be back up with the live video streams, but I'm always happy to help answer any questions you have by sending us an email or contact us Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat. We also have Twitter, I believe.
Wow.
So we do.
I don't
Yes.
know. I haven't looked yet.
Okay.
I don't use Twitter often.
I don't myself either, but we have a Twitter available if you guys are
It's there.
into tweeting. It's available. Send us your questions. I'm happy to answer them at any time, guys. If there's something that you'd like to specifically know about and talk in a live video, like the 2020 Olympics, for example, let us know and we'll get it sorted for you guys, okay? So thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at our next live video. Thank you very